Hey, what's going on, guys? How's it going? Where? Hopefully you're doing all right. That was two different versions of Friday Night. One covered by Wanye, Wanye, Wayne, Wanye. I don't know. The other by Klaus, the jazz one, which we've heard a lot of during the BRBs and stuff like that. So, I have an interesting one today. I'm gonna pull up the email real quick. It is Wanye Cast, yeah. It is a collection of games. Uh, I'm assuming it's pronounced art, ARTE. It's French. I think it's pronounced art. Celebrates its 10 years of video games. Paris, October 19th, 2023. Art is proud to. Oh, you know what we could do? Here, ready? Before we read that, what if I Google? Uh, Google translate art French. Assuming it's French.
Arte.
Arte. Uh-oh. But then it says in English.
Arte.
Arte. So I don't know. I don't know. They're proud to present and celebrate its 10 years of involvement in the video game industry. Since 2023, Arte has been supporting original European video games available on all platforms. As a co-producer since 2013 and as a publisher since 2018, Arte France encourages and champions independent video game creation. With a track record of 17 co-productions, including 12 projects that have received over 100 awards, the cultural public media outlet promotes European art house collections that are original, memorable, and accessible to all. So they released a collection. There's a whole bunch of stuff on here. I'll refer you to the Arte website. And there's a couple trailers and stuff like that. But they have a bunch of games in this pack. From oldest to newest, they have Typewriter, Californium, Entre-moi, mon amour. Excuse my French. Vandals, Homo Machina, The Fisherman's Tale, Vectronome, Inua, How to Say Goodbye, and To Hell with Ugly. They also had two more. Oops, that's not what I want to do. That's the video. They also had two more, which I got the games for free. We'll get that out of the way. I was contacted by Damien from a PR company who gave me a key to it. Weirdly enough, on Steam, the bundle includes these two games. The key I got did not include these two games, but it's Bury Me, My Love, and Alt Frequencies. Alt Frequencies looks kind of cool, but maybe we will pick that up as it's only $3. We'll see. But I figured I'd run through these, play them from oldest to newest, give them each a few minutes and see if we like any, and if we do, we'll play it for more than a few minutes. And yeah, check it out. Let me hit this button. Hello. Let me hit this button for video games. I do have a link. Give me 1 second. It is a long link because it's a tracking link, but oops. There you go. I put it in chat. Actually, I should probably give you where that link resolves to. That'd be a better idea. There we go. It resolves there. And let me put it in that other chat as well. Oh, too many chats going on, man. I don't even know how to get to this chat now that's closed. Go here and go here. But when I go to my own stream, it doesn't show the chat for me, which is weird. Go here. Yeah. Weird. Very weird. Oh well, I'll make sure it's in the description for YouTube. No worries. No arrow. Oh, no, I didn't see one. You know what? I think it's one of the plugins I have that's kind of messing with it, which is what happens sometimes. Hang on a second here. Let me launch the game again because it did not like me tabbing out to look at everything. Use headphones for a better gaming experience. Yes, but I need to capture. There we go. Yeah, YouTube. That's all right. Like I said, I'll put it in the description for YouTube. Tutorial. Use arrow keys to move. Oh, okay. I am the semicolon between type and writer. Click on the banner to view the unlocked content. Oh, cave paintings. Yeah. You've just unlocked the first page of the history of typography. Browse back, rotate, scroll, rotate. Ooh, not what I meant to do. That's not what I meant to do either. Let's see. Origins. Replay tutorial. No, there we go. Cave paintings. In prehistoric times, long before the invention of writing, humans left traces of their existence in the caves where they resided. The Chavette Cave, discovered in 1994 in the southeast of France, is one of the oldest adorned caves in the world and contains many inscriptions carried out between 32,000 and 30,000 BC. Most of them are representations of animals, but there are also hybrid animal-man creatures and human hands. The different representations overlap in a space that seems indifferent to the depth as the contours of the image intertwine constantly. Semicolon, colon, end of sentence. Yeah, I always get them wrong. These prehistoric artists were skilled in several techniques: rock engraving, probably using a hard or carved stone, and painting. The paint comes from crushing stones to produce a colored powder that was then applied by hand or blown onto the cave wall. In almost all cases, but especially in Africa and Europe, the paintings are related to ritual practices, such as the magic of hunting, fertility, or protection against enemies. Painted caves have long been regarded as a sanctuary where prehistoric man painted his visions of the world. It is estimated today that the pictorial representations depict a whole cultural socio-system, which includes both inhabited places as well as hunting territories. It's a picture of the Cave of Hands in Argentina. Interesting. Interesting that they would crush rocks and use the dust and not try and process plants and stuff like that, but maybe that just wasn't a thing. Maybe they didn't know how, you know, like, that's interesting to think about. Like, they had enough knowledge to know that, oh, this red rock, when crushed up, would give me a red pigment to put on the wall, but not that crushing the berries that stained my hands and mouth would stain the wall, or maybe they did and it wore off. I don't know. Yeah, plant stuff that didn't survive, potentially. Yeah, could be. Use spacebar to jump. There's hideout down here, too. Wow. The cuneiform writing. Babylonian tablet covered it with cuneiform letters. Emerging in Lower Mesopotamia between 3,400 and 3,200 BC, Cuneiform script is, along with Egyptian hieroglyphics, the earliest known systems of writing. It is initially intended to transcribe Sumerian. However, it became a dominant system throughout the former Middle East. Cuneiform writing began in pictographic form and silhouette-type shapes. Certain symbols are also used to represent a more significant part of an object. For example, a star to evoke the sky. The forms then evolved into represent verbs, for instance, bread for eating or water for drinking. Cuneiform, yeah, I messed up the first time I said it. In addition to these pictorial representations, the cuneiform writing system includes phonograms and phonetic signs that are used to transcribe a sound and additional signs to represent figures. It is gradually adapted to several other languages, including Akkadian, Hittite, and Elamite. Oh my god. Yeah, cuneiform. I'm saying the I very quickly. That's the New York in me. The name cuneiform stems from the Latin word cunus, or wedge, and the fact that the documents were written on clay tablets that transformed the wedge-shaped impressions from the stylus. Is this like a Mario? Oh, it is. No! They go fast. Poke clay with stick to write. I mean, that's not wrong. Stay alert. Oh, there's a brick there. It's gonna squish me. Egyptian hieroglyphics. The first Egyptian hieroglyphics date back to the end of 32,000 BC. This formal writing system, which is born around the same time as the cuneiform script, is used for more than 3,000 years. The word hieroglyphic comes from the Greek adjective hieroglyphos, which literally means sacred engravings. In Egyptian society at the time, writing is linked to political and religious powers. The pharaoh's scribes have the sole privilege of using hieroglyphics to write official letters. The hieroglyphics are plotted on shards of pottery, ostrakhan, or on a paper form derived from papyrus using a reed. Yeah, speaking of reading. The originality of Egyptian hieroglyphics stems especially from its figurative nature. Hieroglyphics are pictorial drawings that designate an object or action. These characters can represent real or imaginary objects, such as human figures, animals, or divine representations. Egyptian writing also includes a system of phonetic signs, meaning the sign is read independently of its visual characteristics. Unilateral signs and phonetic complements are also found to transcribe one or several consonants, vowels, as well as give indications of etymology. Egyptian hieroglyphic writing has given birth to two other forms of scripture used in Egypt. Hieratic, which is a cursive writing system written in ink with a reed brush invented to allow the scribes to write quickly, and Demotic writing, which is a scholarly script used for document and letter writing. Egyptian art, stele with inscriptions. I don't know why, maybe it's my eyes wear, but the Twitch chat that I have in OBS, every other name, every time like your name, every other one is like a slightly different color. I think it's my eyes playing tricks on me. But I don't see them as different colors over here, only over here. Oh. It tried to get me. I could be the monitor, I don't know. The Chinese characters. Buddha and his disciple, Subhuti, from the Diamond Sutra 868. Chinese characters were not originally designed to facilitate direct communication between individuals, but rather to symbolize the relationship between men and the afterlife in the context of rituals. According to the legend, Kanji, a minister of the Yellow Emperor, was charged with the task of creating characters for writing and designing characters according to the special characteristics that he observes in all things. What's going on, Knight? This is a game about the history of languages, it seems like, or text, excuse me, and part of a bigger collection of games that were funded and developed in Europe over the last 10 years. All Chinese characters are logograms, but there are several derivative types. Pictograms are simple characters that can be combined to form an ideogram, which is a more abstract idea. I almost said complex. I read complex from the line below. Oh, God. These signs are more complex, consisting of several pictograms, as well as being associated with a key, which acts as an indicator to specify the lexical meaning of the ideogram. Chinese has another set of characters called phonosemantic, which makes up over 90% of the language. Phonosemantic characters, however, are associated with a key that is designated by pronunciation. I never got why some people stretch the text like this. I guess to make the width full, but it just feels weird. You're already hyphening it. Can you not hyphen and break the line? Speaking of text and my poor text skills. You're listening to an ancient Sumerian song, and the lyrics said, I can't read that, I'm not Sumerian. But you felt it. Good. If they broke the line, it wouldn't be so far apart. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, why not? Especially if you already have a hyphen in this word. But I don't know. I don't know. I guess it's just a stylistic choice. In addition to the Chinese writing system, paper is one of the 4 great inventions of the Chinese. Native Kai Lun not only improved the paper-making technique, but also made it possible to use a variety of materials such as tree bark, hemp, and flax. At the time, his process remains a long, well-kept secret and doesn't appear in Western Europe for quite a while. Pretty interesting. Oh, there's some text. Move objects to avoid the traps. I'm guessing those spikes hurt. Those look like buttons. They're not buttons. 5, wall jump. Lean on the wall and jump. All right, yeah, we got it. The Greek alphabet. The invention of the Greek alphabet dates back to the 8th century BC. Initially, there are several variations of the Greek alphabet. However, the 2 main ones are the Euboea and the Ionic alphabets. Let's see. We saw cave paintings, cuneiform, Egyptian. Yeah, so Sumerian, I think, was kind of in this realm. I don't think they specifically... Oh, yeah. Intended to transcribe Sumerian. So they did mention it, based on... cuneiform, so. The invention Ionic alphabets. The Greek alphabet is one of the first writing systems with a stable symbol-to-sound mapping, making pronunciation predictable. Each vowel and consonant is distinguished with a unique character, unlike the Semitic alphabet such as Hebrew and the Moabite or Phoenician. The Greek alphabet is adapted from the Phoenician alphabet by adopting new characters, thereby totaling 24 letters, which are still used today to transcribe modern Greek. Although originally composed exclusively of capital letters, the Greek alphabet gradually expands to include a lowercase. In Greek society, the language is at the heart of the city, with writing gradually invades the public sphere, despite the attempted suppression by a small elitist group of religious officials. The Greek alphabet is the basis of a number of other alphabets in Europe and the Middle East, including the Etruscan alphabet, which goes on to inspire the Latin alphabet. On the left, Greek script, lintel, with inscription of Emperor Justinian, 538 AC. Yeah, the shit copper. Yep. I know of that one. I heard of that before recently, so I don't know if maybe it's just picking up now, but it's definitely been a topic that people have discussed in the past. I think it's funny. Like, come on, bro. Oh. This dot may be the key. The Latin alphabet. I didn't hear about that one. That's pretty good too. The Latin alphabet. The Latin alphabet evolved from a Western variation of the Greek alphabet, which was adopted and modified by the Etruscans, who ruled early Rome. The Etruscans' alphabet was adopted and further modified by the inhabitants of the city of Rome, further contributing to the birth of the Latin alphabet. It is then adapted to all the Romance languages and gradually spreads throughout the Western Europe and beyond. The development of the Roman Empire results in it dominating the whole of the Mediterranean world, thus securing itself as one of the most extensive political entities in history. Latin culture heavily influences Mediterranean countries with regards to language and religious belief, which peaks when Emperor Constantine converts to Christianity in 312 AD. The Romans are responsible for most of the diffusion of ancient Greek culture by translating many texts and maintaining I hit left and right instead of up and down. And maintaining the use of the Greek language and its alphabet. The Latin alphabet, which consists of 26 letters, is originally made up of an entirely uppercase alphabet. It was only much later, under the reign of Charlemagne, 768 through 814, that the Alcuin Society of York creates the Caroline minuscule, which acts as the basis for modern forms of the Latin alphabet. How to control books. The Latin and Cyrillic alphabets are the most employed writing system in the Western world to this day. Oh. I gotta bring that ball over here with me. I did not realize. Come on, buddy. Oh, okay. It doesn't sink any lower than this. Origins. Uh, 3000 BC. Congratulations, you have finished the tutorial. Okay. Typewriter. A typographic video game. Created by Cosmographic. I want that. Gothic. Oh. Whoa. Level selection. Can you find all the characters in this chapter? Spooky fonts, yeah. All right, I have to click on them? No, I guess I don't have to do anything specific for them. But oh, there they are. I gotta click those. A, B. You joke about that. There's a specific music publisher that publishes music with a, like, a handwritten font, if you will, but it's like a script handwritten font. So not only can you not read anything because it's a font that's pretending to be script, but it's music. So all the notes look like they're all over the place when they're not really, and like it photocopies terribly, and it's just like, oh, I hate it. And it's like every third piece of music I've played in high school was like that. It sucked. It sucked. The Monk Scribes. The Monk Scribes. Jean Milot at his copyist desk. Part of the Miracles de Notre Dame, 1456. In medieval Western Europe, writing is reserved for the reproduction of sacred texts and the recording of legislative decisions. Written culture is thus progressively centralized in monasteries, beginning in the 6th century. I'm hitting up to scroll up, but it's down. It is the monk scribes, recluse in convents and Christian abbeys who are responsible for transcribing the earliest manuscript books. The texts are copied by hand on animal skin parchment and then recopied to ensure circulation. Within the scriptoria, a writing room specialized for monks, the scribes copy the texts by means of a calamine, a reed or whittled bird feather dipped in black ink, while illuminating the pages with illustrations or ornaments. A dense network of monasteries and an abundance of scriptoria span the Christian West, allowing the conservation and dissemination of many religious texts, as well as certain books from the antiquity. The book is otherwise a luxury item that is not very accessible. Whoa. Ah, we got some ink on us here. At least they're all in order, the letters, so I can tell if I missed one easily. The Largonian, minuscule. Under the reign of Charlemagne, the practice of writing resurges in Europe due to the administrative needs of the vast Lingonien Empire. God. This leads to an increase in the number of scholars and the standardization of handwriting. At the request of the emperor, the masters of the Aachen Palace create a new typography, Caroline minuscule. Oh, is that what that is? SCULE. More legible than the uncial writing previously employed in the ancient Latin script. The Caroline is characterized by small rounded letters and the insertion of spaces between words. It is adopted throughout the empire and spreads rapidly across the scriptoria of the Christian West in the 9th century, dominating manuscript writing until the 12th century. More legible, debatable. Yeah, I mean, maybe if you know the language and the font, it is, but in the 12th century, a style known as Gothic emerges, renewing Western art and marking the architecture of new cathedrals, which are now higher and pierced with large stained glass windows. This new style also influences the typographic forms and Gothic lettering, becoming common across Western Europe in the 13th century. Regional variations appear. Germany and north of France mostly opt for textura, a Gothic typeface with a narrow angular shape, while the south of France, Italy, and Spain employ a rounder form called rotunda. Your mom's so fat, she uses rotunda font. Got him. H. I. Oh, we put the dot on the I. Perfect. J. K. L. Whoa. M. Almost fell in. She can't get up after going italic. Oof. That's pretty good. Johannes Gutenberg. In the early 15th century, urbanization and economic growth stimulates exchanges at a European level. Furthermore, the existence of national literature in several countries and the development of universities contribute towards the creation of secular manuscripts, which develop concurrently with the increase in literacy rates. It is in this favorable context that Johannes Gutenberg invented the printing press. Gutenberg, a prominent German goldsmith, receives the financial backing necessary to open a printing shop from banker Johann First. While Gutenberg did not invent all the processes required for the manufacturing of printed material, he combines a series of comparably advanced technology to existing printing techniques. In addition to the use of paper, a relatively new material at the time, and the invention of special ink for printing, the main innovation is the production of a movable type system that makes page setting quicker and the lettering more uniform. With Gutenberg's invention, texts can now be easily reproduced and disseminated, unlike the manuscripts that were previously the result of long labor by the monk scribes. Needless to say, the invention of this is an immediate success throughout Europe. The fucking shoulders of giants we stand on, like I can type up an essay in 5 minutes. Meanwhile, that guy spent his whole life making physical text keyboard writer things. The movable type. Invented in Johannes Gutenberg's workshop in Mainz, letterpress printing with the movable type ignites a new era in Western culture, written culture, and remains in use until the release of photo typesetting in the 1960s. Holy shit. A metal worker produces a kind of handheld steel punch. Attached to the tip is an inch of the instrument is a flat plane with an alphabetic symbol. The letters are made using a deep mold consisting of 3 different materials. About 1,000 of these alphabetic letters are produced and then filed into a big drawer that is divided into many small compartments called case tins. A worker arranges the letters on a kind of typing machine that deposits the letters into a tablet. The letters are placed accordingly, reproducing the text 5 or 6 sentences at a time. When all the pages are replicated onto tablets, printing on paper ensues. That's, quite a long time. Oh, shit. They're stamping. There's Q. R. Oh, nice. I don't know if I want to block. I guess I do want to block this off so I can go past. Oh. S. T. U. V. W. Oh, we're going backwards now. X. There's a stamp with some ink on it. Y. Oh, there's the press. Z. The letterpress. Gutenberg's removable type printing press is particularly successful due to the use of a special machine made up of a flat block of wood operated by a lever. This ensures the ink is applied equally over the surface of the tablet and then pressed and printed evenly on the paper. Using paper imported from Italy is both inexpensive and essential to the development of Gutenberg's letterpress. Moreover, Gutenberg creates special ink that does not pass through the pages, unlike most of the other inks available at the time, thereby making it possible to print on both sides of a page and ultimately use less paper. With these innovations, the German typographer is responsible for creating numerous high-quality publications, including the first condensed Bible. That's pretty crazy. It's not just like, the dude didn't just be like, all right, let's do it. Like, he had to invent new ink and like get all these things in place and have them import, I'm not gonna make it, have them import special paper and all that shit. Try to squish us. Yeah. Whoa. Gutenberg's Bible. The Bible is considered to be the most successful print job of Gutenberg's career. The book is composed of 641 sheets divided into 66 books. Every page, modeled on the handwritten pages, is divided into 2 columns of 42 lines each. Gutenberg's Bible reproduces the Latin script from the Vulgate of St. Jerome, 384 AD, using the Gothic typeface textura. Between 1452 and 1455, Gutenberg's Bible is reprinted about 200 times on paper and on parchment, which is unimaginable only a few years earlier. As with the handwritten editions of the monk scribes, unprinted surfaces are reserved for illustrations. The works of this period, between the medieval manuscripts and early modern prints, are called incunabula. Jeromatic, yeah. In 1455, Gutenberg cannot repay his debts and is forced to sell the print shop to his associate, Johannes First and Peter Schaffer, who take over thereafter. When Gutenberg dies in 1468, he fails to witness the ongoing success of the movable type printing press and its revolutionary and rapid spread throughout Western Europe. The guy didn't even know that he built everything. That's all right. I'm sure whatever afterlife he believes in, he can see and both be happy and sad at what he did. I think there's one more chapter in this. I'm not sure. Yeah. Accelerated Garamond. Ah. Now that's a font I'm familiar with. Supposedly, I'm not even going to go into this. Supposedly, Garamond is one of the most legible and uses the least amount of ink fonts to reproduce. Don't know if that's true, but that's what I heard. Based font, yeah. Based on what? Can I even get out of the water? Oh, I can swim. Okay. I didn't know semicolons could swim. Nicholas Jensen. I guess there's something after Garamond. Portrait of Nicholas Jensen, 1420 through 1481. With the Renaissance, culture and writing progressively move out of the ecclesiastical sphere. Beats me. The humanist movement, which spreads throughout all of Europe from the 16th century onwards, puts man at the center of the world. These humanists promote culture and science and advocate for the popularization of all knowledge. This period also marks an interest in texts from the antiquity, which are translated and broadly commented on. In Italy, the Quattrocentro, 15th century, is characterized by a special retrieval of culture and the arts from the late Middle Ages. Exchanges between Germany and Italy lead to the rapid spread of movable type print press. Johann and Wendelin von Speyer, two native printers from Mainz, settle into Venice to help popularize Roman characters, which promptly replaced the formerly used Gothic types. When Johann von Speyer dies, Nicholas Jensen, a Frenchman, takes over the workshop. Jensen, who was a trainee for several years in Gutenberg's workshop in Mainz, is acknowledged for the quality of his characters. Jensen leaves his mark by evolving the Roman alphabet on the basics of typographical principles, as opposed to the old manuscripts. He collaborates on the printing of over 150 Latin and Italian works, and is able to run as many as 12 presses at a time before his death in 1481. 12 at a time, jeez. Whoa. Italic. ARTE France, a publisher who follows in the footsteps of his grandfather, is known most notably for the invention of small portable books, forerunners of the modern pocketbook. As a humanist and reader of the ancient texts, his goal is to publicize classical texts at a lesser cost. To save space, in 1499, he commissioned Francesco Griffo to create a smaller typeface, Italic. Italic is slanted and narrower than Roman characters, and as a reproduced version of a script that is inspired by cursive. What's going on, dummy? Following a dispute, Griffo and Manus separated in 1502. Manus opens his own press shop in Bologna some years later. It is in 1516 that he successfully creates a new italic font, which is considered to be one of the most flourishing of his career. His work is acknowledged as at an international level, and contributes to the widespread of Roman characters. It's not hexen, gotcha, okay. I like the little floodgate F that we have. Oh. Do I get some kind of bonus for breaking into this area? I guess not. Oh, almost past the eye. Whee. That's pretty cool. I like how the level's made up of a lot of different type pieces. Oh no. Oh no. Hooray. Uh-oh. This doesn't look too good. Geoffrey Troy. As of 1470, printing in France is the product of 3 German printers. These printers also establish the new process at the Sorbonne University at the request of the minister of the University of Paris. King Francois I, an independent scholar known as the Restorer of Letters, owes his moniker to his active contribution in development of the arts, typography, and printing. Moreover, in 1537, it is his strict decree and control over written publications which ascertains that a copy of every work published in France be copied and submitted to the Royal Library. During this period, printers and editors are typically humanists who want to contribute to the distribution of ancient texts. Geoffrey Troy, a printer and bookseller from Italy, teaches grammar and philosophy at the Sorbonne. He participates in the development of typographical art and sets a standard in French publishing, particularly with his famous work, Chamfleury. I can't speak French, which appears in 1529. Like Luca Pacioli in Italy and Albrecht Dürer in Germany before him, he seeks to create letters using a geometric and rational approach. Oh yes, the Vitruvian man who was making up all the different letters. Almost certainly, drawings and inspirations from Vitruvius's 10 books on architecture. His typeface consists of uppercase letters divided into 10 parts that mimic the perfect proportions of the human anatomy. Troy is titled in the official printer of King Francois I, in 1530, and dies in Paris in 1533, leaving behind a considerable amount of words. He left all his words behind. We're short a few letters. Wow. N-O. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's not friendly. P. Oh. And. Wait, but I missed the other letter. The and per stand, right? I don't even know how to get back up there to get it out. Yeah, the and per stand. There we go. Robert Estene. Estini? Throughout the 16th century, printing technology and book bindings improved and developed in all European countries. Books and printed texts become the preferred means of communicating the ideas of Reformation. However, with the Catholic Counter-Reformation, Protestants are systematically suppressed, and publishers are subject to more and more strict control. Stephen Dolet, a Parisian printer who edits numerous Protestant texts, is charged with blasphemy and treason, which leads to the destruction of his publications in 1544 in a bonfire held in the square of Notre Dame. 2 years later, in 1546, he is burned alive with his books at the stake in Place Maubert. Robert Estienne, a lexicographer, and printer, born in 1503 in Paris to the famous publisher Henry Estienne, is trained by Simon de Collins, with whom he shared a workshop with until 1526. After the death of Conrad Neobar, his predecessor, Robert Estienne, is appointed King's Printer of Latin and Hebrew letters in 1539 and of Greek in 1540. As a supporter of the Reform, Robert Estienne is in contact with the humanists all throughout Europe. He benefits from the protection of King Francis I, which helps him avoid the systematic attacks and suppression of the Protestants. In 1550, shortly after the death of the king, Estienne is forced to leave and bestows his workshop to his son. He leaves France with his series Grex du Roi and finishes his career in exile in Geneva, where he dies in 1556. Oh, a little boat. I'm on a boat and it's going fast and... Whoa! God dang it. Killed by the very thing we were trying to protect. No, I can't get up there. The Grex du Roi. What's going on, Evil? How you doing? The Grex du Roi are a series of Greek characters established by typographer Claude Garamond, who comes to prominence in 1541, when 3 of his Greek typefaces are requested for a royally ordered book series by Estienne. Garamond's characters are based on models made for King Francois I by the Cretan copyist Angelo Vergecchio. God. Who was often acknowledged for the beauty and legibility of his characters. Garamond is more remembered for his Roman types and its rapid spread across France beyond during the 1540s. Henry Estienne II, who inherits the Grex du Roi upon his father's passing, sells the characters for 400 gold coins to pay off an important debt. Another drama surrounding the famous series Grex du Roi is their exchange for Robert Estienne's second son's return to France. The characters are consequently lost in the religion riots that ensue. Had a whack dream. Oh, hopefully not too crazy. It takes almost a century for the original molds engraved by Garamond to finally be recovered. At the request of the sovereign Louis XIII, the molds are archived in the Imprimé Royal's font collection, founded in 1640. Oh, God. I was right next to it and it went away. Oh, no. There's a trick. Playing a top-down pixel party game. His point was to steal gold from each other and win, but it didn't have friends, so you're playing it alone. Interesting. I'm not sure how one plays a multiplayer game alone like that, but... Garamond. I missed that one. I don't know if I can go back and get it. Where does replay start me from? Not where I wanted to be replayed from. Oh, wow. There's a lot more than I thought. Holy cow. There's a lot more than I thought. Dang. What? What? What was that? What? Didn't do it that time. Oh, I want to go. Can I go to the next one? I think I can. No. Wow. We are moving a hell of a lot faster, though. Yeah, something I did with that is making me go zip zoom. I don't know why. How's learning to read treating me? It's pretty tough. I'm still learning to read. No, it's going all right. This is a discussion on language and written text and a whole bunch of other things, too. Pretty interesting, actually. If you're interested, there's still time to donate to Gamers Outreach for that charity stream. It goes through the end of October, so there's still a few more days left. Again, if you're interested. I get you, no worries. Just more mentioning it for anybody who might have missed it. That being said, I did make a final total graphic, and I'm sure I'm gonna have to redo the whole thing when somebody donates, but that's okay. A small sacrifice to make. No, it's not. I would have to push a button in Premiere After Effects to change it. It's not a huge deal. I can make this sacrifice for, damn it, extra donations to the kids. All right, where was that last asterisk? This asterisk. It's not this one. You can't skip it. There it is. There we go. Claude Garamond. Claude Garamond continues the work of Geoffrey Troy as a printer of the king. Garamond is one of the first typographers to commercialize his font. Unlike typefaces of the past, which were previously reserved for the printer's own publication, commercialization means that a typographer draws, engraves, and melts the characters himself before he sells them to the printers. In 1541, Claude Garamond is commissioned to create Greek characters based on the models drawn by Angelo Vergreco. Having engraved for Robert Estienne, Garamond's Greek letters are celebrated for their elegance and earn the title of Characters of the King. After being acknowledged for his Greek letters, Garamond draws and engraves a new Roman character, which takes his name, Garamond. Except with a D this time. His font conveys a sense of fluidity and consistency, and is considered to be among the most legible and readable typefaces, see? Thereby spreading quickly across Europe. Garamond's Roman characters are paired with Francesco's italics, becoming favorites for printing the classics, and are used by numerous anonymous copyists. In fact, the Garamond typeface, which has been well known since its creation, is still broadly used in editions and collections edited by France's leading publisher, Gallimard. All right, we did it. We got all the little blurbs here. Now we can go to the next section. Excuse me. I think I'd spend this long on this game, but I'm kind of enjoying it. I still have 9 other games that I intended to play. Didote. Weekend with Arte. Yeah, maybe. Hey, maybe let me grab that before I go flying away. I don't know what collecting these does, but I'm gonna keep doing it because I already started doing it. The text is stored. Oh, yeah, never mind. That's not an appropriate joke. The Romains du Roi. Oh shit, I missed. I was hoping I could fall down here and like die, but Speaking of musical typefaces, yeah, I missed that first one. I'll have to read it again in a minute here. Ugh. His nose hairs and mustache hairs are combining to torture me. I can't believe I already missed. I already missed the letter. Oh wait, we restart just 2 feet away. No. Now we're gaming. Now we're typographing, yeah. Parallax on that building here looks kind of interesting, huh? Well, I don't even know what letters I missed. Did I miss anything? I guess not. Oh, that's a big one. Johannes Bakerville. We gotta look at the first one too. Hang on. The remains du Roi. In the 17th century, the royal censorship and persecution of the Counter-Reformation leads to the slowdown in the production of written works in France, and many printers and engravers and publishers are forced to flee the country. In 1640, Louis XIII founds the Imprimerie Royale, and recruits printers from the Netherlands to contribute to its first team. His son, Louis IV, orders the Science Academy to develop a special typeface that is based on mathematics as opposed to imagination handwriting, and reserved entirely for the Imprimerie Royale, in an effort to compete with the printers from the rest of Europe. Based on the Science Academy's results, the engravers of the Imprimerie Royale create a typeface which is called Romain du Roi, or Roman of the King, which authenticates all official documents thereafter. Its vertical, geometric construction and notable contrast between thick and thin strokes distinguish it from preceding types. John Bakerville. In the 18th century, the censorship that is weighing on publishers in Britain gradually subsides and leads to further development in printing. Around 1720, William Castellan creates a typeface that was influenced by the Dutch characters in use at the time, which will take his name, the Castellan, and become immediately popular. John Bakerville, a fellow printer and typographer, continues the work of Castellan. In 1750, he partners with John Handy, another typeface designer, and opens a print shop. Bakerville has a major hand in all aspects of the creation and development of new ink, which is very dense and thereby allows allowing for more intense colors, as well as the use of paper that is smoother than previously used. Alongside Handy, Bakersville attempts to improve Castellan's font and legibility by increasing the contrast between the thick and thin strokes and making the serifs sharper, tapered, and more vertical. The first book to take advantage of the Bakersville font is an edition of the Roman poet Virgil in 1757. Bakersville was appointed printer to the University of Cambridge in 1758. His characters impress his contemporaries, as well as the American diplomat Benjamin Franklin, who takes a copy of the font with him when he returns to the United States. These types are very successful overseas and are even adopted for official publications of the federal government. In fact, the first editions of the Declaration of Independence, July 4th, 1776, and the Constitution of the United States, 1787, are printed using Castellan and Bakersville's typefaces. Ooh. I gotta get another drink in a minute here. I didn't expect to be doing this much talking either. But I'm enjoying it. It's interesting. John Bakersville. Nothing up here, I guess. The Didot family. In France, the Didot family, I think if it's French, it's Didot, right? Dominates the typographic form in the second half of the 18th century. The first printer of the family is the former bookseller Francois Didot, and as a friend of Abe Prévost, he becomes famous by publishing Prévost's works. His son, Francois Ambrose, eventually takes over the family business, securing himself as a known talented printer, publisher, and typeface creator who brings many innovations to typographic art. To ensure the best print quality, Francois Ambrose develops a woven paper inspired by English and Dutch techniques. He is also the inventor of the Didot point, a typographic measurement system that is still commonly used in Europe. He works with his two sons, Pierre Didot, who succeeds him in 1789 as a printer, and Firmin Didot, who leads the family foundry. In terms of font, Francois Ambrose improves the Roman characters and calls the final project Didot. Between 1775 and 1790, Francois Ambrose and Firmin give final shape. There's too many ends in there. To the typeface Didot, which is distinguishable by its fine condensed letters. Built along a vertical axis, the Didot type benefits from the new method of etching on copper, which can burn extremely fine features. With the revolution, most of the existing types were melted to support the war effort. However, the Didot typeface quickly spread across the country as a result. No. Oh, I got stuck. Oh, I didn't. I'm good. The hardest tuba, yeah. I play no notes and I must scream. It was the perfect spot to hide a letter behind the wall. I open the book while the screen is blacked out for the death. Very good. Oh, we can just read. I mean, it's dim. It's grayed out, but. Bodoni's Manuale Typografico, the work of the Italian printer Giambattista Bodoni, 1740 through 1830, is in line with that of Dido. Born in 1740 to a printer, Bodoni inherits his father's business. He then journeys to Rome to pursue an apprenticeship alongside the printing of the Congregation for the propagation of the faith. At the time, the Duke of Parma wishes to build his city, the Duke John of Parma, with a strong print culture so as to compete with other European capitals like London and Paris, and so he assigns Bodoni at the head of ducal printing. In 1788, Bodoni publishes the first edition of his Manuale Typografico, a folio collection of more than 6,000 characters of Roman and Italic typefaces with samples of Russian and Greek types. It is recognized throughout Europe for its high-quality, rich illustrations, careful layout, and fine printing. Giambattista Bodoni, an admirer of John Baskerville and Firmin Dido, goes on to develop his own self-titled character, the Bodomi. This original and modern style is very popular for its finesse and elegance and becomes widely used in European print. I keep forgetting what letter's next, so we like miss one. I'd have no idea. I could jump in a hole and I'd have no idea. Q. R. Can I push the Q into the hole? No. S. T. Whoa. You can't split the beans like that. U. Wait. V had to be W. Oh no. The birth of print media. The Enlightenment period also sees the dawn of print media. In 1789, the Declaration of Human and Civic Rights proclaims the Freedom of the Press Act in its Article 11. The free communication of ideas and opinions is one of the most precious of the rights of man. Every citizen may, accordingly, speak, write, and print with freedom, but shall be responsible for such abuses of this freedom as shall be defined by law. Indeed, the revolutionary period marks the birth of a large number of newspapers and political prints throughout France. From 1789 to 1800 alone, the French press grows from a few titles to 1,350 newspapers. Despite the censorship period, the press itself is a major vehicle for the dissemination of ideas, a role that is continuously sustained throughout the 19th century. From a typographical perspective, this revolution accelerates the adoption of new types and Garamond characters are phased out. Even the imprimary royal prints of the Constitution of 1791, using the Dido type and other quality of the publications, becomes a model for all European printers. No. All right. Whoa. Like, what's that? What's that game? Oh, God. I got a achievement for doing wall jumps. Rip. Disappeared. I hope I didn't miss any. Nice. All right. I am going to take a couple minutes of a break, and then I'll come back and keep doing this. I guess I'm going to play this today, and we'll play the rest over the next couple days. I don't know. I've been finding this interesting. It is. It's a typeface game. No, it's a game about the history of written text. So we've had, I can show you, all the way back from like cuneiform and hieroglyphics and cave paintings on walls, up to Gothic, through Garamond and all that. Did you miss Helvetica? I think we mentioned it, but I don't think we really talked about it too much, did we? I don't remember. No, I guess we didn't talk about it yet. So no. We're moving on from Dido to Clarendon, I guess. But I want to take 2 minutes to stretch and use the bathroom, so I'll be back with some more in a second here.